Okay, so I have to get the shit out of the way because it's driving me crazy recently. And I never want to give this family more attention because that's what they want. But you've crossed the line when you have now actively denied science.
Yeah.
So recently, Kim Kardashian had denied the moon landing happened because of shit that she watched on TikTok.
For the record, do you think that we didn't walk on the moon?
I don't think we did. I think it was fake.
Which, yes, we are both on TikTok, but on the science side.
Was it TikTok?
It was on TikTok. She blatantly said, just go watch TikTok. So she only watched the conspiracy videos, and it's the same shit that everybody who denies it brings up. Why are there no stars in the background? Which, if you know basic photography, will tell you, okay, the moon is bright as hell. It's reflecting a lot of light from the sun. So if your focus is to see features of the moon, you'll have a very small aperture letting in less light. Therefore, you're not going to see faint background stars. There are images, if you want to see stars, the moon gets overexposed. So there's that. The other one is, why is the flag waving on the moon?
Oh, is that the other thing?
It doesn't, though. Okay, it only ever waves when Buzz Aldrin is screwing it into the ground.
Yeah.
Which, like, physics, like, obviously,
right,
it's going to do that if you're, like, putting something in the ground. But once he steps away, it doesn't wave anymore. And it stays upright, like the flag is open, because there's a bar at the top.
Yeah.
For God's sake.
Yeah.
So I remember those are, like, two things she brought up. And the one that probably is just, like, more disrespectful is the one where she talks about how Buzz Aldrin has essentially confessed that we've never been. And it's not true. If you ever watch an interview with him and a little girl, this little girl asks, I wrote it down here, why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
Is this a recent video?
I don't think it's too recent. Probably pre-COVID.
Because I'm like, I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was making its rounds once upon a time, but I don't know when it's from.
Jesus.
So Buzz essentially said, that's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know because we didn't go there and that's why it happened. Granted, this man is in his 90s. He probably still was when this interview happened.
Yeah.
What he was trying to say is, why we haven't gone back. And he says later, it's just because of money. He never denied that we didn't go there in the first place. They cut these clips to like take him out of context. And it's
so this was
bullshit.
a TikTok clip?
I remember when I first got on TikTok, I did see that clip of him saying that to this little girl. So this is something that she's brought up once again. But you want to deny the fact that when somebody said that to his face, he punched them? Like, he's never once said that we didn't go to the moon. But, so, yeah, but ultimately, it is just so insanely disrespectful because people died in pursuit.
Say disrespectful.
Yeah.
Yeah, Apollo 1.
Apollo
I
1.
always think of Apollo 1 and how much of a disaster that was.
Yeah, there was that fire capsule in 1967, and 3 astronauts died. People sacrificed so much for us to get to the moon. Like, one of the greatest achievements of mankind. And
so
also,
fast too.
And so fast,
like,
right?
One of the Wright brothers was still alive when the Apollo missions first launched.
That's cool.
Can you imagine? Like, I discovered flight.
Yeah,
and then I'm watching a rocket ship go into space.
Yeah,
that's so fast.
And it goes to show you what you need is money for science to get anywhere.
Yeah.
And they were able to do it for that reason. Also, for Kim K to call anything fake. Give me a fucking break, first of all. But like, it's just, and ultimately, the biggest piece of evidence, Russia admits that we got there. Wouldn't they have the most at stake to be like, no, guys, we have all the evidence that they didn't. They agree that we got there.
Yeah.
And then we have images from the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, which still orbits the moon, of all the landing sites.
A lot of nations have something up there.
Nobody
it's like
has ever denied it. And then also, 6 missions and 12 humans have landed. My mic's falling. 6 missions and 12 humans have landed on the moon. If you don't believe me, my shirt says, yes, they're real.
Totally thought it was
and
about
it is
your
my
boobs.
boobs. They're real too.
That's what I totally thought.
It's also the missions, guys. They're all here on my shirt.
God.
All right. Has that been
So
settled? Can you please
frustrating.
not take Kim K as your source of information for anything in this world?
I mean, it should just normalize saying, I don't know.
Yes.
You know, like, there have been so many interviews I've done where people will ask me a really technical question where I did know the answer at some point, but I've kind of, one that was like a year ago, somebody asked me how mirrors work. And when I was working on that, like, I knew to detail, but after a while you kind of forget. And I was like,
oh my God, yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
Like, vaguely I remember, but he was asking really technical questions. And I'm like, honestly, I don't remember.
No,
and it's like, it's okay to say that. Like,
I reference my own book all the time when I'm doing stuff because, like, all this information, like, how do you expect
love
me to
that.
retain it? But like, it's there.
When you Google highly specific things, do you find yourself?
a couple of times, I
Isn't
remember
that
you did a
so-
video of it
oh,
recently, but
Because it happened to me
but
twice in one day.
You're like,
I was
damn,
like,
I'm a source now. I don't know how I feel about that.
it's really
But,
annoying, actually, because I'm like, I can't be the only one.
No, exactly. You're
Like,
like
I know
the,
I'm not.
the pioneer of a new thing. It's like, no, I
No.
just wish that we had more research on that subject.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, too, it's always the, like, what are people talking about category. And
What do you mean?
And those videos tend to go viral for me. So, like, one of them, it was Hurricane Melissa and Category 6 storms, and if we should even have them.
Oh,
And so those videos perform well because they're hot button topics. So when I talk about them, I always show up.
yeah.
On my own searches, I'm like, oh, God.
Got it.
It's so frustrating.
No, but that's also smart on your behalf. And I'm not saying that you're doing it because it's a trending topic, but you're like, hey, this is happening right now.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, shouldn't we have because above a category 5 is
I-
what these speeds are at?
Yeah, it kind of is getting to the point because it's all just speed based.
Yeah.
That's all, like a Cat 2 versus a Cat 4 is just wind speed. That's it.
And if they're getting faster, then now we got to
Yeah.
go above a 5. What's the problem
It's
with having
close.
like 5.5s?
I know,
Do they
honestly.
just
Or like,
they'll default backwards. So like if you're above a 5, but you're not quite a 6, you'll come back to a 5.
it's like a rounding down system.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like tornadoes. They redid those.
Yeah.
So like just redo.
Just redo hurricanes,
Hurricanes.
which probably will.
It's
It
getting
just
to that point because Jamaica
catches up
got
slowly.
freaking wrecked.
They got wrecked,
They
man.
got flattened.
Also, isn't that the same hurricane that was like moving up towards Iceland
Yeah, it's just a storm by that point.
at that point?
But yeah.
That's unusual though.
Yeah, it was there
So-
like 4 days later or something.
And then people still want to
crazy.
deny anthropomorphic climate change, guys. What do you
It's
think
so-
is causing these extreme reactions?
It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Actually, TED, so like the TED Talk TED, CAA, and this rep from Netflix had an event like a couple of weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and they only recruited. This is what was so interesting. So they recruited only non-science people. They wanted just regular creators.
Okay.
And these are like top creators. So everybody in the room collectively, they said, had like 1 billion followers or something, and there's only like 50 people there.
what the hell?
Yeah, and so these are big creators, but they
Mm.
don't do science stuff. And so these people were like, we're going to teach you about climate change so you can, it was, covertly and overtly talking about it. And you can like pick what one you want.
Mm.
Jordan the Stallion did one.
I don't know any of these people.
You would know that account if you saw him because he does the come here when he holds the mirror. He has his phone up in the mirror. And then he zooms
know,
in like
girl.
a Gen Zer, but he looks like a millennial.
I don't
No
know.
hate, but,
No,
but he knows that about himself. So
Oh wait, is that like his bit though? That he's like, I get mistaken for being in my 40s all the time. Or is
he
that a
did have
different
one
go?
about that.
Dude.
You would know him if
All
you
right,
saw him. He's
all
pretty popular.
right.
But he did one.
Okay.
So they are just trying to get people to talk about it more openly all the time. And as we were sitting in the room, they were like, "Yeah, we got non-science people here," and I was like. Like
Yeah.
I was there, and I was like, it was me and one other girl that somehow I don't know, they like didn't really realize what we did, and she was actually a climatologist. And they were, oh my God, it was so funny. They had a woman there, and
Yeah.
she did a really quick, excellent rundown of how fossil fuels work versus renewable energy. It was like 2 minutes long, but it was literally the images that I used too. Like I was like, why am I here? Like I already know this stuff,
And you're already talking about it.
yeah. So it was a little strange. I don't know why I was there. It was still cool. It was still fun
Yeah,
because I like
yeah,
seeing
yeah.
what other people are working on. But they're like doing grants and stuff to try to get people to covertly
Just
put
kinda
climate
talk
change
about
into
it.
their
Yeah.
And then I did the
That's
Melissa
interesting.
video because they basically asked for it.
That's the thing. You're still
It's-
like we're building relationships with these larger companies. So,
yeah. Well, CAA. I was
Yeah.
like, the last time I talked to them was actually when I used to be a demo singer, and they had offered me a contract to go on tour, and I turned it down.
Why?
I know, it's funny. Like I moved to LA literally to be a singer. And so I was a demo singer for a while. And so demo singing is basically somebody writes a song. They're not a singer, but they want to sell it to a singer.
Yeah.
They need a demo singer to kind of, give a rough outline of what it's going to
Yeah,
sound
got it.
like. And then if they want to buy the song, they redo it with their voice. Awesome job. I got to do all sorts of genres.
Yeah.
And one of the engineers who wrote a song, CAA listened to it and they didn't like the song, but they liked my voice. And they were like, "Who's the girl?" And so I had a meeting with them, and they were like, it was like a 2-year contract, but I had no creative rights at all. Mm-hmm. Which demo singing, you usually don't, but it's like, well, I don't want to do that for the rest of my life, have no rights at all.
Yeah.
The pay was kind of garbage too.
And you're selling your soul. kind of.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Just
other
like a robot.
there were so many aspects of it I didn't like. They asked how much I weighed, and like
Really?
Yeah,
I'm
it was really weird.
surprised.
And then I do this instead now, so.
Hey, and you get to be self-employed. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, working as an actor in this town for many years, I'm lucky, and maybe because it's under SAG. Last time we recorded, I hated on SAG. I'm still not
Do they
a
call
fan.
you and they're like,
No,
listen here, bitch.
please, let them try. but every job I've ever done was under SAG, so like I've never experienced the shitty, creepy as fuck side of Hollywood. Knock on wood. I've been very lucky that way.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
You don't have any of that
Shockingly.
like weird studio party or producer
No,
groping
I've
you or
been
some
to
shit?
some, and there's been some like creepy producers. I remember at some Halloween party years ago. You know,
Wow, you can really get away with it if you're wearing a mask.
yeah, no, but they were exposed. I couldn't even
Oh.
tell you their names, just two basic white dudes. But they straight up were like, because they were acting kind of creepy to everybody, but they were like, yeah, you don't seem like, they straight up said, and I'm paraphrasing, you
Okay.
don't seem like someone we could essentially take advantage of. I can't remember the exact words.
We're afraid of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you're goddamn right. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? But they're predators prowling this industry all the time.
If I had a kid, I wouldn't put them in that.
No, my God.
If they were like, I want to be an actor, I'd be like, that's nice.
yeah, wait until you're 18 and then, you know,
Yeah.
you can figure it out after that.
You can do whatever you want at that point, but
I know, I couldn't imagine.
child acting thing, I think, is so sketch.
It's sketch. That's the right word. That's the right word
like
for
my
it.
only experience is in the singing industry and the music industry, and just knowing the singers who make it big at like 15, 16.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know that sounds really great, and you do kind of have to jump on it when you get it because those opportunities don't come very often.
Yeah.
But if you're the parent, I can guarantee you this is the worst decision you're ever going to make for your kid. I absolutely guarantee you. You know, if they're that talented, they might get another chance again.
Yeah,
but at least as an
exactly.
adult.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was just talking to somebody about this, and I loved what they said. Do not come to LA to discover yourself. You have to come here already knowing what you're doing and what you want.
Oh my God. Absolutely.
And I was like, that is the perfect.
that is exactly right.
Yeah, do not discover yourself here. That's what
No.
Montana and Europe is for. Like, do
Yeah.
not go to LA.
Back in the cornfields of Ohio. Where
yeah.
I grew up. No, but girl,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
so true. Once you
Yeah.
kind of find your voice and identity, this
Then
industry, yes, it's so much easier to navigate.
Yeah.
It took me many years.
Really? I
Yeah.
picture you just like landing on the ground and being like,
No,
I'm ready to go.
You would think, but yes,
I would.
I love acting, but then it was like, what kind of stories do I want to tell? And I've read for thousands of pilots throughout my like almost a decade here.
Really?
And
Thousands?
thousands, girl.
Ew.
Many pilot seasons, and you know, being a minority woman, it was always for like the main girl's best friend who doesn't actually have substance to herself. She's just like the diary for the main girl to bounce her love life off.
How do you know that they're a minority one? Do they say? Are they like, we're looking for like Indians?
They'll just be like ethnically ambiguous or something. You just, girl, you just know. You just know.
So
but
is
then
that
the main girl will be generally white. So
course.
you just know that they're not going to
Naturally.
have, in this day and age, they're not going to have two white girls. They'll have like a more ambiguous friend who doesn't do
Wow.
shit. So, and I just got tired
Ethnically
of it.
ambiguous. Are you
Yeah,
serious?
ethnically ambiguous. I've actually never booked an Indian role.
Do they ever
Because-
say that?
As in, like, will they put South
Yeah,
Asian?
they'll just be straight up honest about it.
Yes.
Like, we are looking for.
South Asian, absolutely. And like in the commercial
Okay.
world too, it's like that because like I've been on Avail, which is what they call it for Lexus many times. Avail is like you're in the top 2 contenders for booking this commercial.
Lexus, like the car Lexus.
Yes.
That's pretty
because, they'll sometimes just put me on Avail without auditioning because Indians, I guess, buy Lexus. So they will specifically have Lexuses.
Lexuses.
So they'll like specifically want to hire Indians for this specific spot.
Wow.
Yeah, and so because it's
Okay.
based on market research and all that shit. So Lexus gotten close. I've done other car commercials before, not Lexus yet.
I kind of want to Google these now. I want to find
I
these.
have all the footage somewhere.
Yes.
I do. in
I'm
a
totally
reel.
going to put it up.
The commercials, I don't mind. Some of them are very cute. For Vistaprint, one time I was dressed up as this like 1800s woman, but she was a ghost. So I was on a green screen, and when you see me in the final product, I'm like floating with a fluffy dog.
That's kind of
it's good.
cool.
It was kind of
Was there
cool.
a real dog?
Yeah, I had to work
Hell
with a
yeah.
real dog, and
Feel like
he
mine
was
now.
a star. He was a star. He barked on command. Yeah. So, but in terms of TV, I've yet to book an TV as in like TV show or film. I've yet to book an Indian female role because according to what Hollywood thinks Indian women look like, is not me.
What are they?
Maybe she looks very nerdy and can do tech. It's
Oh,
like
that kind of- okay.
stuff.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
and
which-
and like Indians, we have such a large range of shades. Like there are people as
There's
pale as you,
literally a billion people there, so you're gonna get
Yeah.
diverse.
You're gonna
yeah.
get pale Ashley level. You're gonna get like black
really?
hole level.
So they
Great.
want darker here.
I that's what I've observed.
interesting.
That's
Okay.
whatever. You see Mindy Kaling, she's very dark skinned.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
okay.
it's beautiful on her. But so they're kind of, I feel like Hollywood leans towards that, Bollywood leans towards that, and people like me in the middle, we don't know where to go. So now we're writing our own shit.
Exactly. Where do I go?
We're just writing our own stuff. But all this to say,
yeah,
like,
though.
it took me years to find my voice and identity here. And then I realized the stories I want to tell have some kind of science to it, whether it's even just about people in STEM. Pitching my pilot, workplace
I knew
comedy.
it. I was like, do it. Do it.
So, like, because I don't know, this day and age more than ever, I think we need to humanize people in science because of this disconnect that's happened. People
or
who
the
hate
Big
the
Bang
experts.
Theory.
Yeah.
And those characters and that stereotype.
Yeah. Exactly.
It is kind of true, but.
Yeah, but it's also, there are colleagues of mine at Griffith who are like, we hate that show because...
Really?
Yeah, they weren't a fan of how the nerds are portrayed. At the same time, though, storytelling, you do have to have archetypes and types.
Right.
So it's that kind of fine balance. Because if you're just basing it on pure reality, Hollywood thinks it's not going to be interesting enough. So you kind of have to amp up everybody, especially when it comes to comedy.
So your pilot has how many archetypes?
Oh, girl.
You're like
8.
90%. It's like all of them, actually.
I think about 8. Yeah,
Okay.
especially with the workplace comedy, there's like a list you can find out there.
Oh, it's
of
like comedy, kind of? Oh, yeah, you need archetypes
You gotta have the
then.
archetypes that like work off each
unfortunately.
other, and they're all misfits and just weird. And
That's
but
funny.
you know, that's
Is it based
that's
everybody
comedy.
you work with?
It's like an amalgamation of different groups.
That is a
of
good
people.
word. Damn,
Yeah.
we're fancy here. We have a
Amalgamation.
thesaurus.
I know.
Synonymous with. We're taking an SAT score right now.
Right, and we didn't even pause to look that up.
You're
But
like,
yeah,
"Bye-bye."
that is. I have never seen you without a bandana, girl.
I know, I always wear it.
Yeah, no, I like the style though.
If I don't, so the thing is with TikTok, you know, everything is location algorithmic. So
Mm-hmm.
people in LA are going to recognize you, but if you went to like Nebraska, it's probably not going to happen because
Right.
you post here.
Yeah.
Right. So if I'm going to an event and there's like a not insignificant chance someone's going to recognize me, I put my hair in a ponytail and I never have any issue.
Right.
Nobody's ever approached me with my hair in a ponytail.
It's like the Superman thing.
Yeah.
They're like, wait.
Yeah.
I also love that Gen Z has brought back Barnes and Nobles because they were
Have they?
They were closing and they've opened a lot more stores in the past couple of years because
Oh, I didn't know that.
all these
Okay.
little ones are actually reading books,
these children.
which is great. You have this
Yay.
dichotomy of like brain rot on social media, but they're also reading books. It's an interesting thing
Again,
to see happen.
it's the STEM field and the education that YouTube is pushing.
Yeah.
There's definitely a shift happening because there's a demand. Otherwise, it wouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
And I was wondering
Yeah,
about that. I'm
right?
like, who's asking for this? Because I'm like, I don't think it's millennials. I'm going to be real. I don't think it's millennials, but it makes sense that it's Gen Zers.
Yeah,
I thought it was boomers for a minute. Like, they're retired and
I know, right? And
I don't
they-
know. I was like,
don't know.
they
It's-
want to read.
I'm still not fully sure on where this market research is coming from. Is there actually a demand for STEM things, or do these platforms just feel obligated to want to do better?
There's a demand. There's got to be because, like,
because why else would they? They're
why
still a
would-
business in the end.
China's not going to give a shit. You know what I mean?
I love that, although this would put me out of a job. I love that China is only allowing people who have a degree in that specific subject to talk about it.
Yes, love that. When I
think
saw
that's
that, I was
great.
like, please, can we do this?
Yeah.
Or at least like a job resume that you've worked in it. Because I don't want to be
Yeah.
too much of an elitist because
Yeah, I agree.
you can work your way up through the system and that's becoming more popular now too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, so when I went to Helion, the fusion reactor company
Mm-hmm.
up in Washington, they were telling me that like 20% of the people who work there, like, they don't have degrees. They were like mechanics, but they had a specific part that is only found in a car that actually is also used to move the reactor. And so
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, I mean, we have electricians, mechanics, like we have people you wouldn't even expect.
Absolutely.
And they're working at a fusion company. And after, 10, 15 years of them working there, they're going to be qualified to talk about it.
qualified. That's the
Right.
thing. Yeah.
So
it's a lot of stubbornness. You're right. Elitist is kind of a good word. And granted, I'm biased
Ugh,
because
so
I'm
elitist.
a self-taught space nerd, and I promise
Yeah.
I'm always doing my best. I'm here to just inspire because I love space. But I
Yeah, but-
completely get having an
Yeah, but you
expertise
have
in the field.
communications.
That's the thing.
So that's the
what
other
I'm
half.
good at. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I met these ladies at who work at JPL yesterday, they both work on Europa Clipper. Brilliant women. I couldn't even tell you what insane PhDs they have.
Please come here so we can talk to you.
I got their cards. They're willing to come one day.
They're cards.
One of the ladies had a card. The other one was Instagram.
Yeah, that seems more.
Because of there was an age gap too.
Oh,
but I was
yes.
like, I couldn't do what they do, but they couldn't do what I do. So like
Yeah,
the science
it's-
communication thing, it's very, very important. So
Oh, you have to have one or the other. Nobody ever has both. I'm sorry, nobody has both.
Nobody has both.
I've never met anybody who's like, yes, I have a physics degree and a communications degree. Never
Yeah.
happens. People pick one and so you can't win.
No,
you
that's
can't
right.
win because I've had that where I've gone to events and they're like, well, what do you know about like communicating this stuff? And I'm like, I wing it.
Just-
Like, I don't know, you know?
Give yourself credit though, girl.
there's no
You're pretty good at it. I will
to
say.
learn. I mean, you have to.
The way you learn it is going to be in a basic way, and that's how you relay it to everybody. Yeah.
That's why I went to the CAA thing, because there was a TED Talk person there and the Netflix person, and they were trying to help on how to explain climate change and use the right terminology. And I'm like, I've never actually taken like a communications course in any facet. So I was like, oh, I should probably go. I literally went for that reason.
Yeah, just to kind of see if there's like a specific technique. Yeah, I completely get that.
They don't like the term global warming.
Right.
So there was stuff like that where they're like, do not use the word warming.
I also haven't heard anyone use that in a long time. It's just been climate change.
I see it in the comments.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. So
anthropogenic climate change specifically.
So fancy. We have to like a little bubble that pops up whenever you say something fancy.
Just means like human, but I can't define it. I just like know it in my head.
That happens to me all the time. I'm like, what's a
wait,
synonym for that? I actually don't even know what that word means.
Anthropogenic, like a humans have affected climate change, because climate change has naturally happened throughout history, but this is anthropogenic. That's the whole problem with it.
We are to blame.
We are to blame, for sure. Like the hurricanes that we were talking about. Also yesterday, I met a Caltech professor I was telling you before we started, was part of the LIGO team. So they detected gravitational waves in 2015.
God, that's sick.
100 years after Einstein predicted they existed, but denied that we could ever find them because of how fucking small they would be.
Sure,
and as technology advances and we get funding, what do you know? We detected gravitational waves 100 years later. So this Caltech professor was a part of the team. He was such a cool guy. So his story is that he started off as an auto mechanic. Indian too, by the way. We're nerds. Well, some are way smarter than me. But
there's always somebody. I mean, you know, like
he
there always
off as
is.
an auto mechanic, was just fascinated by the theory of relativity. Worked
randomly.
hard. Yeah.
Okay.
And then went to MIT, eventually worked at Caltech as he is now, because Caltech is associated with LIGO, which is the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory. Again, the things that detect gravitational waves. But my point is, as scientific as this man is, he was also so pro creativity, of like marrying art and science, and how both are very important because of the communication aspect as well.
Oh, God.
And it's
critical,
like things that we used to imagine, like stuff that Star Trek once imagined, eventually, for the most part, became reality. And how important that is, but many very science-minded people are just very boxed in, and they're like, well, now you're getting into philosophy land. But it's like, but think of how that important that part is of science to progress it forward. Actually, it's like imagination. It's
philosophy
important.
is mandatory. If any degree, every school that I've gone to, which has only been 3, but still that's a lot.
Yeah.
Every program in the STEM schools always has a philosophy course that's required. It's usually a math-based philosophy, but it's still philosophy.
It's still something, right?
And they all fail it probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember what I got, but
there should just be a course where everyone sits around a table and talks, and nobody shames each other for their outlandish thoughts, because you never know. I mean, Albert Einstein.
As we slammed on Kim K.
Okay, but yes, I'm so glad you brought that up, because there's one thing about denying things that have factually happened versus like, I wonder if one day we can build a wormhole. Think about that shit all you want.
That's different.
Right?
Yeah.
But it's like, how many times are we just going to go over the same shit? Imagine if we all collectively put our brains towards progress versus like, let's deny this thing that happened over 50 years ago, even though we know it did. The rest of us. So it's like, absolutely. You want to think 3-Eye Atlas is alien? Sure, go for it.
Enjoy that.
Right? Because like, that's not 100% either. It's like 99.9% a comet. But that 1% allows you to be open-minded. Moon landing, 100% happened 6 fucking times with 12 fucking people.
Jesus.
So it's not about being like, she shouldn't be allowed to say that, or she should be. It's just like, no, we're moved past it.
She should just say, I don't know.
Yeah, like I have my
Just say, I
doubts.
don't know.
But she's like, oh my God, but on TikTok, they like have debunked it. Okay, cool. You're willing to look at that side. Why not look at the other side then?
Well, at the same time, it makes me feel like, oh God, what are we doing? It's like throwing a rock into a giant open pit. It's like, I'm never going to hear this back. It's never like, I don't know how much success I'm having sometimes, because I feel like almost everyone who follows me already is in the science world. And I don't get much pseudoscience on my feed. Actually, I really very rarely get it. What happens is someone will stitch or tag me, and then I'll see it, and I'll be like, "This is what people are talking about."
Yeah.
On the other side.
When I was new on TikTok, I'd have that.
Oh, sure.
I just
Yeah.
don't look anymore, girl. I post and I get the fuck off.
Oh,
Yeah.
I doom
I don't
scroll.
doom scroll.
I doom scroll, but I only do it because I need my brain to shut down, and I hate watching television or movies. So because I can't control it.
Yeah.
It's probably an attention span thing.
It might be. I get
You know?
that though.
I'm like-
I'm trying to be better about watching because I need to for homework as I
You
also
need
screen
to.
write. But I
Yeah.
get what you mean though. It's just also like I could also hop on YouTube and watch something for 10 minutes because that's all I have time for right now versus
Yeah.
committing to a 45-minute drama or traditionally 22-minute comedy.
Yeah.
Like but
22 minutes and 30 seconds. Damn.
because of the ads, that's like network, but
Oh,
I think on
yeah,
like
yeah,
streaming, it's just whatever at this point. So I
Yeah.
know, unfortunately, I am reading, finally reading Project Hail Mary.
I was going to ask
though.
you about that actually. I'm like, have you started that book yet?
I've started the book.
Okay.
I am starting chapter 4 soon, and it's really cool. So I'll be curious to see how the movie deviates for movie
Yeah.
telling purposes. But it's Andy Weir, the detail that he puts into this shit.
I
I'm just in
heard,
awe,
yeah.
Even on the science, and it's interesting. Yeah.
When does the movie come out?
March next year, and
Okay. All right.
gonna work with them again.
Hell yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
That I love the sci-fi gigs
I know,
because they're
it's
fun
so
and they're
fun.
easy.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, do whatever you want.
And just genuinely
And you're
like
like,
a
okay.
project I'm super excited for. A lot of people say it's their favorite Andy Weir novel.
Really?
And,
Okay.
I'm really excited
God,
for
I
it.
gotta read it.
Yeah.
I'm reading. I forget what her name is. Actually, well, it's Ashley Vance, I think, or something
Okay.
like that. I think it's actually something, which of course I would remember that. But she just wrote a book on basically all these startups and how they're going to take over space. And it is really good. My only beef with it is the book is this thick, which is kind of unnecessary
Okay.
when we're talking about this kind of thing. And she talks about their personalities too much, which again, this is another like, who's your target audience? Because as a STEM person, I don't give a shit about your emotions, your personality,
Yeah.
like your hopes and dreams. I just want to know what you did, how you did it, why you did it, I guess
Yeah.
is kind of relevant sometimes. And like, where is the company? How much money did they raise? Like, I want all the facts and
Yeah.
the data. And her writing style is very, I think it's just for the general public. And I'm kind of like checking out.
So
you know,
it's a fiction book. It's like a novel.
oh no, it's it's nonfiction. Sorry. It's,
it is
it's, Yeah,
nonfiction.
no, it's her breaking down.
Oh.
Like everybody but SpaceX.
Why the fuck are okay? But like, why is she
Yeah.
talking about
She went into
Personalities
so
and
much
stuff.
depth about this house they all bought. I was just like, oh my God, I don't
Oh.
care.
Yeah, in that case, if I'm looking at nonfiction, I don't care about any of that either. If it's
Yeah.
a novel, sure, yeah, you have to flesh out the characters, but
I don't want to know
interesting.
about some house where everybody got high and started talking about their favorite ideas. Like, I just,
Yeah.
oh my God, I don't care. But I can see what she was doing. She's trying to lull people in who want some entertainment factors.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wasn't sure who her target audience was.
Interesting.
Because she'd
Okay.
get really technical, and I was like, yes, this. And then it would
Yeah.
get really like, yeah. And then they bought another house in Palo Alto, and I'm like, dude.
I don't care.
I do not give a shit with this real estate agent. I'm like, oh
yeah.
my God. So
Reminds me sometimes
yeah.
of these like Netflix true crime docs. I'm like, this could have been one episode, but then they had to
Yes.
stretch it out to like 3 or
Yeah.
4 with all this filler
Yeah.
shit. So
But the book is good, and I'm that kind of person that if I start, I have to finish it.
yeah.
There's only been a very few books that I didn't finish. There was one, oh my God, I can't remember what it was called, but it was basically 1 in every 20 people is a sociopath. That
Love
was
it.
this doctor's theory. And I was like, okay, calm down.
Crap.
And I don't mean
That's
like
a high
a
statistic.
Yeah, and this
Yeah.
isn't like a sociopath, like a developed one where something bad happened to you. And
Yeah,
you kinda,
exactly.
You know what I
Became
mean?
a
No,
serial
this is
killer.
like, no, 1 out of 20 people is born a sociopath, and they're all like secret psychopaths, basically. And I was like, okay. I couldn't even read it anymore because it was so negative and so out of the.
That's so sad. But I'm also
Yeah.
confused because psychopaths and sociopaths are different. Also, socio implies
Yeah, I
that-
shouldn't have used that word, actually. I'm going to stick with sociopath.
Okay, no worries. But
There's
like,
like
but that's
daughter
not-
of a psychiatrist right here. By the way, there's a difference between those two.
There is a difference.
No, right, sorry.
No, you're totally fine, girl. It just I'm fascinated by psychology, which is probably why I'm into a lot of serial killer shit. But there is a slight difference.
communications.
And communications. It's all adding up. But there is a difference between psychopaths and sociopaths. But
Yeah.
the socio aspect comes from the fact that they were like abused or something happened. They
No,
weren't.
that wasn't this
necessarily-
theory. This person was like, they're born amongst us. That's why I was just checking out of that book.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was more than 1 out of 20. It might have been like 1 out of 10. I don't know. I can't really remember, but it was at least that.
Damn. I would
Yeah.
think the world would be way worse off though if that was
Yes.
the case.
And it doesn't make sense from a biological standpoint. Like genetically,
Mm-hmm.
evolution would have trimmed that down at some point
Yeah.
because the only reason we've been successful is because of cooperation. That's the only
Exactly.
reason. So like eventually,
Empathy, yeah.
yeah, eventually this would have gotten taken out.
Weed it out because it's not.
Yeah.
It's not serving our species growth.
Right.
Yeah.
I would take 1 out of 100. I'd be like,
Yeah, I know, right? And you feel
tough
like
pill
you're
to
kind
swallow.
of seeing it a bit more, especially with like CEOs
but that's
and
but it's
things like that.
developed. Like they've
Yeah.
become that, which I feel is different from having been born. I'm not a
Yeah.
doctor, by the
No.
way, so like I don't know, but
I agree.
that's what
And
the book was.
That's the thing, and that's what's like almost more terrifying about a psychopath. It's like they're just born that way. There's absolutely
I hate that.
no intervention
Have you ever met
possibility. I've met many narcissists.
Okay.
Dated one. That's how I learned the hard way.
God! But then
Ooh,
now you
that
can
was
always
bad.
find them.
Oh my God! Yeah, right.
Yeah, but
I'm just gonna check the time, girl, just so we can like have a.
We should just have a big clock
I know.
right here. Aside from the fact that the Neo robot is terrifying,
That's kind of all.
like
That's kind of all. The
what I was-
conclusion is
so apparently it's not fully automated. Did
No.
not know that. They
Yeah.
have somebody controlling it still.
my people. My people in India.
I didn't know that. I thought it was like ready to go, but it was slow, or maybe I don't know. I thought it had those kind of issues. I didn't know it
Yeah.
wasn't automated. But it's going to cost $20,000.
$20,000
Or $4.99 a month for a subscription when they roll that out, whenever that will be. But the thing that I was telling you before that was cracking me up is that it comes in human skin colors, which I was like, ugh, I should have just done blue or pink.
But
Because
then it won't blend into your neutral aesthetic, girl. You know, your white couches, your
no,
far. What
but
the hell?
but the thing is
Yeah.
like it's white, beige, or black. I think those are the 3 options. There might be a gray. I don't know, but I think it's white, beige, or black. And it's like, dude, I don't know which one's the right one to get. Like,
Yeah, like if I
you know
picked a
what's-
black one, would people get
Is it like
mad?
because it's a servant, and if I get a white one, is it because I don't want a black one?
It's
And you
like, don't
there's
want
no
yeah.
winning. I
That's
don't.
hilarious.
Yeah,
that
I
has to
don't
be a
want it.
sketch, actually.
It
You're like, I'm about to order the Neo, and you're like scanning through options.
Which
you're
one's
like,
not
and then thought
racist?
bubbles. Give up.
Yeah, it's like which
I'll just
color?
empty my own dishwasher, damn it. We're speaking
Yeah.
of, this shit is so slow
It
that
is
I'm
really
just gonna
slow.
empty my own dishwasher because I don't have
Yeah.
patience for that. But man, that the fact that somebody has to control it across the world, blows my
Well,
mind.
I mean, the CEO, who, by the way, I'm so curious how old he is.
I don't know
He's
either.
either really young or really old. I can't tell. He's got one of those faces.
Norway people, man. They're
I
one
know.
They're one or the other.
I know. But he says it'll be ready to go by then. But he was pretty honest that it's going to be a bumpy road.
Yes.
I'm like, you're a terrible salesperson.
I know.
He literally said that in an interview with Wall Street Journal. He was like, yeah, it's going to be a little bumpy.
It's a little bumpy.
But $20,000, please.
$20,000,
I'm like, what
yeah.
in the? Oh, yeah, whatever.
But and then he's like, we need your consent to essentially, videotape your house, but because that'll make the robot
I didn't know
better.
about that. I hate
yeah.
that. Well, that I get, but
but no, like who
gonna
would
be
be,
like-
okay with that?
oh my God, it's going to be like TSA where they watch you change and shit.
pretty much. It's just gonna creep in my bedroom just with its beady little eyes, which they're like, we designed it
They
to look
are.
cute. I'm
Oh, no,
like,
it's not cute. It
it's
is not
that
cute.
bro.
It's awful.
You know those like food delivery carts that come around LA? That's cute.
Yo, yeah. Yeah, what are those called? Well, they all have different
I don't
names.
know. Yeah, the
Yeah.
other one I saw the other day was called Moses. I'm like, oh, is he gonna part like a river somewhere?
No, he just keeps waiting. He's going to sit there for 40 years and 40 days, 40 nights and never move.
And then 2 tablets just pop up from the inside instead of food.
But it's in binary. So we're like,
Another sketch we have to make.
We
But,
should just be on SNL.
We should. We're
I am
hilarious.
actually not funny enough for
STEM
that.
SNL, where it's like
Yeah,
all of our
that would-
sketches have to do with crazy as fuck technology.
The
But,
Neo robot. White,
beige or black, the 3 shades of humanity.
If it didn't look like a human, nobody would care.
Yeah. Like
Everybody
a
would just get
little
whatever
food delivery
color.
Robot. Maybe they're like, oh, maybe you can clothe it. I'm not gonna give it my clothes.
It's wearing that
also
sweater.
short.
Oh, is
It
it
already
short?
has a
I'm
sweater.
short, so it's
That's
probably
true.
taller
You
than
can
me.
give it your
I'll
clothes.
be like,
But it's
put
just
my
it's so
clothes on it.
slow.
Having a figure walk. Can you imagine sleeping?
No.
And it's
like
super dark.
malfunctions.
Yeah, and it's just walking around pacing,
No.
and you just see its figure,
No. Also,
and then you stab it, and you get electrocuted. So
who can't empty their own dishwasher? It takes a minute.
I don't like it.
I don't enjoy it.
I wouldn't pay 20 grand, but I
And
do.
for it to be slow, it has to learn it. Okay, innovation. There's a lot happening these days. I get one day the Jetsons made us believe we will get there, but
We will, I think.
we're not there yet, y'all.
Yeah.
And I'm sure as shit not getting this for many reasons. Whether it's money, whether I can empty my own dishwasher, whether the fact that somebody else is watching me.
Change
want
and
it.
shower.
I
You're
don't
like
want
showering, and the thing just
like-
pops its head over.
do you need
Would you
something?
like a towel?
And I know they wanted to design it to be, cuter, like more appealing than Tesla's version because it kind of just looked scary. Like this
Yeah.
thing will kill you one day.
Well, something Valley.
Uncanny Valley.
Uncanny Valley.
Uncanny Valley when it looks
So-
too human. It's like,
Yeah.
I know in Japan, I think, I can't remember, but some Asian countries have developed it where it's
It's
like
a face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one female-looking one that sat on a stage a couple years ago was just.
I don't think we're gonna lean towards the human-looking ones. Actually, I think
No,
we're
it's
gonna
not
veer
working.
away from it.
Yeah,
but
and be cute like a Wall-E,
I mean, unless you're trying to bone it, there's always gonna be that
There's always gonna be
market,
that.
and they're gonna go for that.
like Westworld. I know,
but I do
hate it
think
too.
when we're aged out of the system at 75, because you know the retirement age is gonna be so much higher by the time we get there.
Never.
I do actually honestly believe robots are gonna be a
big
big
part of our daily
our
lives.
lives. Yeah, because our generation didn't have kids as much as our previous generations, and it'll probably be cheaper, probably be easier,
definitely.
and
it
I
would
mean,
be working better.
and it's
Hopefully.
decades away. I don't know. I do think that's probably going to be what's taking care of us.
I don't disagree. I'm
know?
going to go a step further and say I want to be part robot. I don't want to be in an old body. I'll have an old head on a robot
Yeah,
body.
I think
I'll be the robot. I'm down.
Oh, when my leg tumor thing happened, that was one of the conversations.
Do you want to have a bionic
Robotics, yeah, and stuff, because I could keep my knee. So then it was just the foot, which apparently robotic-wise, feet are much easier than the knee to control. So they were like, if you lost your leg, this is an option. And I was like, could I run faster?
leg? And then slowly over time, they're like, it's one leg. Next year, it's the next leg,
gonna
and you
happen.
just build up. And you're like, oh, cool. Can I get like cup sizes
tits.
too, and then like always stay perky? I'm down for a robot body.
Honestly,
Actually.
yeah. The only problem is the lack of sensation. That would
Oh,
be kind of
shit.
lame. Like you can't feel the breeze,
Can't feel
among
sex.
other things. I knew.
I said it.
Like, I
Sorry.
knew where it's going. So I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, you
okay.
couldn't feel water. I would
can't
miss
feel the
feeling water.
breeze.
Yeah. You know what? Oh my God. So totally random. But I went to a wedding in San Francisco like 15 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a psychic there. I don't know.
San Francisco.
I mean,
it would
it's San
happen here,
Francisco.
too.
And so I didn't really want to do it, but all of my friends were like, let's do it. And so it was kind of generic stuff. And for me, what I find fascinating about psychics is watching their ability to read people. Because, like, honestly, if you're there to have a conversation with somebody who's just very insightful and can read you really well, I think there's value in that.
Yeah, it's like a therapist.
Yeah.
You're reading nonverbal cues.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just an honest conversation with somebody. And I'm like, oh, I feel like that's fine. It's when it's like, you're going to die at 43 years old. That's when I'm like, okay, pump the brakes.
Yeah.
But if they're like, I feel like you should do this kind of career, I'm like, well, that's still kind of valuable. But anyway.
Sure. It at
so-
least implants the thought.
Yeah. And it's like, you could pick that up in a normal conversation.
Yeah,
So totally fine. I don't
sure.
mind that. So she was doing really generic stuff for everybody. And I was the only one where I sat down and she was like, I don't know how to make sense of this. She's like, but you'll live to be 180 years old.
180?
80. And I was like, oh, no.
Like,
I
I'm
was
out. Going back to the bar.
Tap me out right now. Yeah, she's like, yeah, I don't understand it, but that's, and I'm like, it did not sound good at the time, and it still doesn't.
Yeah,
Because
girl, I hear
I'm
that.
thinking, like, what if we are able to move consciousness over, or the head, like Futurama, or, you know what I mean? Like, with the way technology's going, I wouldn't
seems like-
put it past us to do
right.
something crazy.
Yeah,
But, like,
I
why
agree.
would I sign up for it? But what if I was signed up against my will?
A few moments later.
Holographic principle theory. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes.
Around black hole, Stephen Hawking stuff.
Yeah.
Not that he formulated it, but there
Yeah.
are some physicists that, see the value in it. I don't even fully know how to explain it, but it's like the shit that falls into a black hole, the data of it, it's like making imprint on the event horizon.
Yeah.
So long story short, is the entire universe like just a 3D projection from a 2D surface?
Yeah.
Is the reality a 2D surface and we are just a 3D projection?
I
Fun
just did a
stuff.
video on dimensions. Well, dimensions were my thesis in grad school.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that. That's
yeah,
cool.
I love, like, I posted a video on dimensions recently, and somebody was like, "This is 70% correct," and I was like, "Bitch, it was my come on, like, who are you?"
Was it a
So like,
dude?
this was my thing.
It was a dude,
you know?
wasn't it?
Isn't it always?
Always.
I mean, what's your base, like 90% male?
Oh,
10
yeah.
Really?
No, I don't mean 100% male. Like 100%, it's 90% male.
Is
It
it?
might be 89 now. Getting better.
Mine's like 60-40. I don't know how I pulled that off.
One of my friends was like, well, it could also be that men are more into STEM, which, fair.
I mean,
that's maybe a small factor in it. There's multiple
Statistically, I
reasons.
think that's
yeah.
pretty likely.
It can't be just like one, but like.
I think
let's
it's
be real.
60-40 though. I don't think it's like 90-10 like
No.
everybody acts.
Mine is definitely very skewed.
My
Yeah.
YouTube is like my YouTube's like 90% male, I think, actually.
Gotcha.
It's just Instagram and TikTok that aren't. I don't know
Better.
why.
I wonder.
It has to do with the algorithm, I'm sure, and
Yeah.
what that algorithm thinks you're going to want to watch.
Right.
So I think I don't know why YouTube did that.
I mean, also, I think anybody who wants to pursue some kind of storytelling, whether it's even just what we're doing now, like media related shit.
Yeah.
Man, if you want to do anything else as badly, do that instead. Because this is an insane life, but I fucking love it, girl.
Yeah,
I really,
it's pretty
I think
fun.
it's so cool.
Like the projects that come across your lap where you're like, what is this? I have to do this.
I have to do this.
I don't know.
Yes.
Why not?
Yeah, it's such a cool journey. It's not consistent. You're going to have your highs and lows and ups and downs with emotion, but I couldn't imagine doing anything else.
Yeah,
Right?
It's pretty exciting.